This is Expert to Expert, connecting industry practitioners and educators from ESC Region 11 and the CTE CCMR team.
I'm Terri Gaber. I work for Hill & Wilkinson General Contractors in Richardson, Texas. I am currently the Professional Development Manager for them, which means basically I recruit and retain our employees through training, development, and getting them involved in different areas within the industry. Hill & Wilkinson is a general contractor, and we are commercial only. We don't do any type of residential building at all. We have multiple divisions, meaning we do anything from commercial office space to industrial, manufacturing, institutional stuff like healthcare, schools, churches, and so forth. So we are very diverse in the type of work that we do. We always talk about if you go into construction, you get to select the one kind of construction that you want to do for the rest of your life. Well, that's not the case. There are general contractors that have a niche and they focus on that. We discovered that kind of being a little bit more diverse helped us wave the economy, and as things change in different areas of construction, we're kind of able to rely a little bit heavier on other sides to carry us through. Our biggest needs right now, if we look at specific roles that are in high demand, would be superintendents. For so many years, you have so many kids coming out of college, the industry putting a lot of demand on being a project manager. And so with that, a lot of superintendents were getting older, retiring, and a lot of the younger generations not going into that role. So I would say superintendents primarily is the main focus right now for most. But we are always looking for good PMs. We hire people, not roles and positions for specific projects. We hire people within our own company that fit our culture. So we're always looking for good people. I know a lot of people focus on you have to go to a 4-year college, you have to get a degree, and that's really the only way you can get into the industry. We're seeing a big kind of shift into kind of opening that up to more, even if it's just a trade school. Is it a 2-year college? Is it associate? However that fits in, we're seeing some are choosing not to do that at all, just wanting to get into the field. So really, we have entry-level positions for all the different areas of construction, and I'm talking anything from estimators to superintendents. So we have entry-level for all of those. Really, I always tell them to focus on building some of the softer skills. Communication is a huge one in the industry, whether it's written or verbal. And then really conflict resolution, learning how to deal with conflict, and time management. I am always going over, we need to learn how to set out our day. What does that day look like? Do a to-do list, know what you have going on to help you. Short answer is yes. We currently do have interns working from high schools, right? So it's definitely something I will say more recently have started, using and looking into was students straight out of high school coming into the workforce. I think really the skills would just be your basic skills. We don't really require certification per se. Some of the field guys are looking at getting certifications and running certain specific pieces of equipment that they may need to use or could use on the job. It's just beneficial, not necessary though. But basic skills with some of the softwares like Excel and just your basic computer skills. And the one thing I always like to mention, because I think people forget in construction, there is more than just the obvious, right? There is more than just the project manager and the superintendent. Obviously a lot of people know about estimators, but we also have a marketing department. We have an accounting department. We have admin support that support all of our project managers. And those are all vital. HR, they're big pieces to the puzzle that I think a lot of people forget are out there. So I always like to tell everyone, think outside the box when you think construction. But as far as like project managers, we've had project managers come on board that didn't, and they started in the field, not necessary, but a lot of them coming out. They want to start like actually doing laborer type work. And they've done that over the years, and they've grown into VPs or running divisions or different group managers. But typically coming into, let's say you're going to do a project management role, you start off what we call project engineers. It does not require an engineering degree. It's just a title, entry-level PM, and then we have the assistant project manager, and then you go into project manager, senior project manager, to project exec, to VP, to exec VP. So like our COO and CEO right now, both of them were PEs. So we tend to grow internally. That's kind of a thing about Hill & Wilkinson. We don't hire a lot of higher level. We grow our higher levels ourselves because we teach them internally, how to get there. Superintendents start like field coordinators into assistant super, senior super, and then general superintendent or construction manager. So all of those career paths are available to people without a degree. And we tell everyone that comes in that don't have a degree that they're starting out in the same position as someone with a degree typically, unless for some reason they want to start off in a labor type position just to learn a little bit more about construction and hands-on. So we do have quite a few successes with those starting off. Touching on the basic skills again, I think those are always important, and I always push those out because I feel like they're important no matter what. But I also think introducing them to real life experiences before they get out there. So I think the opportunity to actually experience construction in real life is vital. So even if you're in high school and you are considering construction, find a way to work in that industry, whatever it is, in the summer or whenever you can. A lot of GCs and trade partners will work with students on their schedule. And I just think that on the teacher side, they need to encourage that and let them know that that's out there, help them find ways to be connected with the industry partners that have those opportunities available for them. As a professional development manager, I do help all new hires coming in. We have an onboarding process. We help them get, up to speed on anything that they need to know immediately going out into the field. But as they grow in their career, there's other obstacles and other things they're going to have to become more familiar with. And that's probably where a lot of the conflict resolution comes into place. You're building a team, you have a team that you're working with, or they're working under you as a project manager. And we really do focus at Hill & Wilkinson on internal training. And like I had mentioned before, we want to build our next CEO to currently be a PE or an APM, right? So we help develop them throughout their career. It's not a one-time thing and it's done. So I always tell everyone this because I actually do it with all of our interns. I encourage them to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Even in high school, start putting yourself in places where you're not comfortable. I mean, public speaking is everyone's biggest fear. Find ways to get out there and speak more in front of groups, whether it's a small group, big group, I don't know, your friends. I always encourage people to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. We encourage all of our new employees coming in to get involved in different organizations. It doesn't have to be TEXO, but that's one that's really kind of more focused on construction as a whole. And so we encourage them to do that not only for networking, because it does build your network, and it's really important. And you kind of learn that as you get out of school, the importance of networking and as you grow in the industry. But it also helps with development. They have a lot of opportunities for developing throughout your career. It's not just as you're going into your career, but you grow as you go through your career, and they have opportunities for that as well. Well, construction is always changing. I think it's something that over time, the word AI has been thrown out there already. So I think that's going to be something that's going to become a little bit more common in the industry maybe. We are seeing a lot more of like prefabricated modular type pieces being brought to the job site instead of being built on the job site, which hopefully will help with schedule. And also, you don't have all the weather delays and issues if they're bringing prefab materials to the job site to make it go a little bit faster and stay on schedule. One of the things we've seen a bigger expansion, I should say, on us using is drones. For years, we would have aerials taken by helicopter or plane, where they're taking a full picture of the whole job site. Well, now we have drones, and we have the ability to go out there and actually capture everything on the job site by just using a drone. It helps with cost. We can do it multiple times a week if needed. We can do it once a week. So drones is definitely something that we've seen happen more and more on the job site.
This has been Expert to Expert, connecting industry practitioners and educators